with our introduction, just wanted to point out physical activity is one of the most important protective factors of overall health. Physical activity is associated with many positive health outcomes, such as decreasing risk of cardiovascular disease, decreasing the risk of the onset of type 2 diabetes, maintaining healthy body weight, achieving a healthy body weight, which in itself is associated with many other positive health factors. Could decrease hypertension and many others. Despite these known health outcomes, many adults in North Carolina don't, approximately a quarter during the years of 2017 and 2020 actually displayed sedentary behaviors and reported that they partook in no physical activity in leisure time. And this was reported in data found in CDC. You can see our references down there at the bottom. During this time, North Carolina ranked 26th worst in physical inactivity levels. So those that don't partake in physical activity, as well as during the same time frame, 30th worst in cancer mortality rates. And so the purpose of the study was just to evaluate physical inactivity levels and rates on cancer mortality in North Carolina counties. The way we did this was by accessing public databases, and we looked at many different independent variables such as race and ethnicity, income, household income levels. We also looked at educational attainment levels, and then health behaviors such as smoking and physical inactivity, because physical activity was not attainable in those databases. We then performed a multiple regression analysis, and that gave us our table here at the top right corner. And so looking there at our results, we can go and see that breast cancer and colon cancer were the only two that were associated with physical inactivity, whereas total cancer mortality rates, prostate cancer, and lung cancer had no association with physical inactivity. Because our colon cancer had a positive correlation with physical inactivity, or colon cancer mortality, I should say. I want to point out our regression coefficient here, marked by B. This just indicates that for every % increase in physical inactivity in our population, we could expect roughly a half a death per 100,000 individuals, or one death per every 200,000 individuals. And so just briefly wanting to discuss some of our outcomes here, or results that we got. Physical inactivity, or reverse of physical activity, and had an inverse relationship with breast cancer. And one hypothesis that we had was that younger individuals who obtained breast cancer had more aggressive forms, therefore they died off and left our older population who tend to be more physically inactive, and that associated physical inactive individuals with breast cancer. So that was our hypothesis for that, is that the more active died off with breast cancer than the inactive. And as far as colon cancer, it's been widely studied. Physical activity can decrease the amount of time that toxins and stools are in our colon, thus the less time or less opportunities that there are for mutations to occur to obtain colon cancer. So that was something that we did expect to see. And then as far as our other cancers, as you can see, race was our biggest predictive factor in cancer mortality rates. And so we hypothesized that for lung cancer, race and smoking correlate together. And then race, we just hypothesized that was such a large predictive factor that physical inactivity was just not a big enough factor to be present in our results from our regression model. And then it's important to point out our social determinants of health that do play a role in physical activity, such as income inequality, education, neighborhood or